This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can visit their store by using my referral link in the description below. Hi everyone, I'm Nitsahone. Welcome to a draft video. This isn't actually a stream. I had some time to record an extra draft video this week while not streaming, and I decided to. We're also a few wins away from Mythic, so maybe we'll hit it in this video. But yeah, obviously we're going to draft some The Brothers War. Well, this is a pretty strong pack. I think Ramos is actually pretty good. I mean, you know, it is a little clunky, but it's a 6-mana 4/4 that gets bigger with flying, that gets bigger every time you cast a spell. If this format had more of a multicolored theme, it'd be better, obviously. But yeah, then we've also got Liberator, Urza's Battlethopter, which I think is probably what we're going to end up taking. It's a very powerful rare. You're going to have artifacts. It just grows. I like Combat Thresher a lot too. You know, these are both very good cards, but this is one we know we're going to play in like every deck. It's less true of Combat Thresher because you kind of have to be able to play the prototype. On top of that, this pack has some other powerful stuff. Prison Sentence, Disenchant, and Epic Confrontation. All also cards I like a fair bit, but I think Liberator is just the best card here. So go ahead and take it. Rune Chanter's Pike. You know, if you end up in a spell deck, it's not bad, but I don't really love the idea of taking it super early. Skyfisher Spider has been real strong, so even though it's gold, kind of thinking about it. We've also got Scrapwork Mutt, which has been a very big overperformer in the format. Gigamole, been quite good. Weakstone Subjugation is nice too. I think I'd probably just take the Spider. We may end up not being able to play it. I like Hulking Metamorph too, by the way. It just seems like every time you play it, you are generally able to get good value. And it is an artifact, so it kind of goes with Liberator a little more. But I think the Spider's good enough that I'd rather have it. This pack has some nice stuff. Mightstone's animation has been quite good. Pretty sweet to put it on Liberator. Scrapwork Rager's also been pretty good. Not hard to generate a 2-for-1 with. The same is true of the Mightstone. I think those are the two cards we're really looking at here. You know, the Rager goes better with Skyfisher Spider. And they're both pretty good with Liberator. I think I go with Scrapwork Rager in the end. I like animation, but I like the Rager more. What do we have here? So, Scrapwork Cohort's pretty good, even if you can't unearth it. It's been a card I've liked. Gnawing Vermin's pretty sweet if you're in a self-mill deck. It's a nice 1-drop. Warplow, Automaton are nice, but I think the Cohort's good enough that I'm just going to take it here. And we could easily end up in a white deck. We're not really committed anywhere. We've taken 3 artifacts, which, yeah, I'd like to be able to unearth these 2, but even if you don't, they're good enough most of the time. Goblin Blastburner is pretty sweet. One of these days, I'll finally... You know, I've drafted a bunch of the red-black deck, but it hasn't actually made it onto the channel. It's been recorded elsewhere. So, yeah. So, you know, taking this in that deck is really good. We've also got a Wing Commando, which is quite good. Combat Courier's nice. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm looking at these. You know, the Blast Runner's nice, you know, but I just don't feel... I mean, we could end up in a deck where it's good, but I don't feel like it's super likely. And I like the Commando enough that I think I take it here. All right, Scrapwork Mutt is probably what we want to take here. It's a great 2-drop. It's another one where you'd like to be able to unearth it, but even if you can't, it's pretty good. Paratrooper's not bad, but yeah. All right, another Cohort. Definitely down with that. Strongbull's good in the sack deck, but yeah, we want the Cohort. So, this pack is not especially good. These 2 cards are basically unplayable, and the rest are not impressive in the least. I guess I take Stone Retrieval Unit. You know, Raise to the Ground is kind of okay. But we seem to be really into artifacts, so, you know, Liberators are only payoff for them at this point, but maybe we'll pick up some more. So Paratrooper's not bad, and we do seem to be in white, so I think we probably take it here. We're already going wide pretty well, too. Feels kind of like we're going to be red-white aggro. Of course, I say that, and then we get a pack with a pretty good removal spell in blue. Onslaught's not bad either, but I think this is pretty easily the best card in this pack, so I'm just going to go ahead and take it. Okay, so Mightstone's animation made its way back, and it's also quite good. We could easily be blue-white, too. I mean, yeah. I could see that happening, and if that's where we end up, we're definitely into animation. We have a lot of artifacts, so... Don't really want any of these. I'll take Gnawing Vermin, just because it's the best card of those remaining. Doesn't feel like the spider's going to happen. Yeah, it feels like we're probably blue-white. I would play the Mutt. Most likely the Mutt would make the deck if I don't... even if I don't have any red mana. Well, nobody's in on the sacrifice deck. These are two cards that are good with it. Okay, so speaking of good artifacts where I'll play them even if I don't have red mana, now we have Phyrexian Dragon Engine, which is quite strong. I mean, a 3-mana 2/2 double strike is great anyway. You know, ideally you'd be able to unearth it, but you always play this, basically, in this format, between being an artifact and just having really good stats. The question is whether getting it when I can't unearth it is better than taking something like Airlift Chaplain or Thopter Architect or Wing Commando. And I'm not sure it is. I mean, it's nice, like, but not really pick one material if you're not thinking you're going to be that into red. And right now, I don't think we are. And that could change, but there's cards in this pack that I like a fair bit anyway, like Airlift Chaplain. It's probably just what I take in the end here. It's been a great common. Mills you a bit, and, you know, usually gets you a 2-for-1. Okay, Sculpting Steel's pretty good. Lots of artifacts in the set. We have a lot of them already. Lets you copy any artifact. Usually you can get your 3 mana's worth or better, so we happily take it. Okay, so we have a lot of artifacts, so Loran is interesting. And Liberator is also legendary, so that's cool. There is another Mightstone's animation, which I like a lot, but I think we probably just want Loran here. Rager's pretty good. Ambush Paratrooper too. Gurgling Anointer's a nice card as well. This pack has a lot of good black stuff in it. Someone will be happy about that, but we'll take Loran. We have enough artifacts that I'm interested. Do I want an Aeronaut Cavalry now, or do I just want another Chaplain? Kind of feels like another Chaplain's probably just better. Okay, so probably the Paratrooper or the Engineer. Probably just another Paratrooper. We seem to be, you know, we have 2 cohorts already, so we're going kind of wide, which I like. Recommission's not terrible in our deck, but it's also not great. You know, maybe we're not going to be in blue. I don't know. We're definitely in white. But we could end up being red-white still, and we have passable red-white cards. I do like the Infantry more than I like Recommission or Machine Over Matter. Involuntary Cooldown's actually probably worth a look here, though. Yeah, let's take it. I like having one of these in these, like, tempo-y type decks, and that's certainly what we are. Okay, we've got a Disenchant. I don't really like Retrieval Agent. Scrapwork Rager's not bad. It's another one where, you know, if you can't pay the Unearth, it's still pretty good, but I think we'd probably take Disenchant in the end. We already do have one Rager after all. And we probably don't want too many of them. I mean, we're mostly an aggro deck, it feels like at this point. Do need to lower our curves some if we're really going to get there, but yeah. So, you know, Scrapwork Ragers aren't amazing if you're an aggro deck. All right, so we have a choice here between another Airlift Chaplain or Mightstone's Animation #2. I really do need to lower my curve, but it's hard to say no to Mightstone's Animation with how our deck currently looks. We We just have enough artifacts to go crazy. I wouldn't mind getting Levitating Statue at this point. That card's been surprisingly good, especially when you've got animations to put on it. Yeah. So I think we just go with another Ambush Paratrooper. Don't really... I mean, the Archaeologist is okay, but it's not... it's nothing special. We'd like to be able to go a little wider to really get our Ambush Paratrooper going, but yeah. All right, we'll take another one of these. I guess I didn't take one. I considered taking one. So we'll take a Conscripted Infantry now. So yeah, I mean, we could definitely use some more 2-drops, though. We have more than it looks like we do, since we have 3 copies of Paratrooper. You know, the Soldier Lord would be cool. More Wing Commandos would be nice, too. Well... Animation number 3 or Paratrooper number 4? I think animation number 3. We do want to value artifacts even a little more than we already do, now that we have 3 of those. Something like Aeronaut's Wings gets a little more interesting. I think we take Machine over Matter still, but Veteran's Power Blade gets a little more interesting. Okay, so... This is a really nice card, and it's a soldier payoff. We've got a few of those. I do like Wing Commando, but I think Zephyr Sentinel's better. We don't have any assembly workers, or I'd be more interested in Self-Assembler. Yeah, so let's take this Zephyr Sentinel here. I kind of don't want to play this, but we could use some more, like, Power Stones for sure. You know, just putting it on a creature isn't bad, you know, and we do have a decent number of artifact creatures, but, and tokens and stuff, but it's definitely better when you can put it on Power Stones and things like that. Okay, here's another Scrapwork cohort. It's also a Take Flight, and another Weak Stones Subjugation. You know, with 3 Paratroopers, the cohort is pretty interesting to me. I think Take Flight is... probably a little bit better, like especially in a vacuum, but it hasn't been quite as good as I thought it would be. I mean, it's good, but I think maybe I'm a little more into another cohort, especially in a world with 3 Might Stone animations. This gives us 2 artifact bodies. So, yeah, I think we take a cohort there. Okay, like the Wing Commando. I think that's where we go. I do like Koilos Rock, and the Power Stone Engineer would both make our animations a little better, but I think Wing Commando is good enough to just... take it here. Key to the City's pretty sweet. You know, it gives us a way to make creatures unblockable. It draws us cards. We can put Might Stone animation on it. Coastal Bulwark's kind of worth a look, but, you know, it's not good with animation because it'll still have Defender. Combat Courier is actually pretty nice, too, for animation. Do I think Key to the City's a little better? I think so. Okay, so here we've got another Chaplain, a Thopter Architect, Soul Partition, which isn't unplayable. It's sort of like a white bounce spell. Stern Lesson's not bad, but I think we'd rather be playing creatures for the most part. It does make a Power Stone, which is nice. The Thopter Architect can send things to the sky. We already have a decent amount of flying. So I'm not, like, super excited about anything in this pack. There's lots of solid stuff, though. I guess the Architect is maybe where we want to go. We have enough artifacts that I think giving things flying is appealing. Ooh, here's a Soldier Lord. We actually, I mean, we have a lot of soldiers, but... okay, we have more than I thought. So we definitely take it. I was thinking we had like 6 or 7 and not 9. But we have 9, so... yeah, not really anything we want here. I'll grab this Lantern. Probably don't end up playing Stone Retrieval Unit. Okay, so another animation. Do I just do it? I'm a little worried we're going to have too many, but, you know, I think I want it more than another involuntary cooldown, so. Recommission, probably grab one of those now. Don't know that it's going to make the cut. We have 8 artifacts. I mean, and then we also have the cohorts, which make 2 artifact bodies. So I think we probably can support the 4 animations. It may not be at its best ever in this deck because we don't have that many power stones, and that's where it feels really good. But, you know, slapping it on Key to the City or Scrapwork Cohort and stuff like that feels pretty good. Don't hate taking an Air Marshal here. Okay, so we can get a card now that makes Power Stones. Let's have a Bauble, which, you know, is a thing. But you don't really want to put... I mean, you can put animation on it. It wouldn't be terrible, but I think just grabbing a creature is probably better. And I think I grab the lower curve one. I think the deck turned out pretty good in the end. So, let's see here. Cards to trim. I mean, Machine Over Matter is not great. One thing we don't have a ton of, I guess, is removal. We've got Weakstone Subjugation and Disenchant, and that's pretty much it. So a bounce spell is a little more appealing. Well, this is sort of removal too. I don't think we probably want a Rager in the end. It is an artifact, but that's okay. I don't think we really want to cut any more, which I think does mean we lose Machine Over Matter. We probably do end up needing to cut like one animation just because we're not that good with artifacts. I mean, you know, we've got them, but not so many that maybe we don't want 4 of these in the deck. I don't love Scrapwork Mutt. You know, in the end, I think we ended up with mostly better 2-drops, but it is an artifact. And, you know, just having it around to put the animation on is definitely a thing. I think we have a lot of artifacts, but maybe not so many that we want Loran. I mean, I guess we probably do have enough that we want Loran. So, 11 soldiers. So trimming a few soldiers isn't a terrible plan. So how much flying do we already have? The answer is a lot. Like, the only thing that's kind of exciting to give flying to are the Might Stones animated things and the Scrapwork cohorts, because other than that, we have Liberator, 2 Wing Commandos, 2 Airlift Chaplains, 3 Paratroopers, an Air Marshal, and a Zephyr Sentinel. So Thopter Architect may not find itself making much of a difference. So I think we probably cut it just because we have so much flying already. I think maybe I can get away with cutting Scrapwork Mutt. I could maybe cut like a Paratrooper instead just because I want the artifacts, but I think cutting the Mutt is reasonable. And now maybe at this point we don't really want Loran. I mean, she's fine, but not exactly an aggro card, for one thing. Yeah, I think we probably cut her. And yeah, I think this looks like our deck. Looks pretty good overall. Let's see how the games go. Okay, no blue mana, but we have a 2-drop and a 3-drop we can already play, and we're on the draw, so it's not a huge problem. And we drew blue anyway, so there you go. Play a 2-drop. We'll be taking at least 2 this turn. Perhaps more. Alright, so next turn we'll have Scrapwork Cohort. I mean, I'm not blocking with the Paratrooper, so I'm going to attack. Probably not going to block with Airlift Chaplain or whatever else I play, whatever I decide to play here. Maybe we just want Wing Commando. Yeah, keep the clock going in the air. I guess I could just play the Tactician this turn, potentially. Not a bad plan. Doesn't have anything to blow up, so I don't feel too bad about that. I think they must have thought something I had in play, or they misclicked. They said oops, so something happened there. I think we probably do play the Cohort. It just lines up pretty well just for, like, blocking here, and I can still attack. So... yeah, let's play the Cohort. I could consider just taking it and continuing to race here, which I don't think is the worst plan in the world. Especially because I can use Subjugation to shut down, well, not this, or this. They both have Vigilance, but I can alter the race by playing Tactician and Subjugation this next turn. Ooh, yeah, that's less than ideal. Okay. So much for that plan. So we go to 8. Alright, so... yeah. I think we'd probably play Wheatstone Subjugation. I could kick it to shut one of these down, but... I think keeping things a little more efficient and playing my Tactician and Subjugation here is probably just going to be better. Yeah. Why would you draw it now? Oh. Interesting. That is interesting. So we draw Involuntary Takedown. Alright, well, I think that means I play Tactician here. Attack them for 6. And I may just play Cooldown this next turn. Hopefully they don't have more removal. It's usually better, by the way, to use this once I can't use the card I drew. It ended up not really hurting them, but it could have. They do have more removal, unfortunately for us. But Weakstone Subjugation does look pretty good right here. I mean, Involuntary Cooldown, that is. Looks pretty good here. Just shut them both down, attack for 3 in the air. Well, it's actually 4 in the air, yeah. So let's shut both of these down. I'll probably draw a card in response, which if we hit a land, we'll be able to play another Paratrooper, which is pretty good, I think. We do not hit a land. We do attack for 4, though. So Cohort coming back could be pretty good. We don't have anything to copy right now with Sculpting Steel, interestingly. Neither of us has an artifact in play. Alright. That's on the ground, luckily. And I can copy it, too, so that's nice. I think that's what I do. I can almost do lethal here, but not quite. Like, if I disenchant something, I can swing for 5. I think we just attack for the 4 in the air. Then leave up our mana to either disenchant or bring in the paratrooper. I don't think it really matters. I'm trying to decide if I think I need to disenchant in response. But I don't really think I do. Whichever one they hit, I still have the other one, so we'll just let them do their thing. So they go after the paratrooper. Yeah, it didn't really matter. Alright, let's just win 3 more in a row and hit Mythic. Involuntary cooldown was big in that one. Okay, pretty good. Curve out with some soldiers. Copy something. Clay Revenant. Could just play Sculpting Steel as nothing, and then Might Stone. Definitely just take 1 if they attack here, and then we flash in our Sentinel at the end of their turn. Yeah, that's annoying. Not a horrible thing to copy, though. I mean, it's not the best value for our mana. It could be worse. Right, there's Key to the City. I think we attack, play Wing Commando here. We'd like to draw a 4th land this turn and just keep attacking them with soldiers in the air. Because that's a race we'll probably win. Not anymore. But, actually, I can copy it, which is pretty awesome. Yes, you went all in on that. Ow. Okay, so I think I probably want to copy Simian Simulacrum here more than I want to play Yodian Tactician. Yeah. The downside is I don't get to unearth it. I mean, it won't be. It'll just turn back into Sculpting Steel, but I think that was the right thing to do. It really gives us an advantage in the race. I may just block with it on the Harvester here. We'll see. Okay. That's less than ideal. See, they can attack me for 8 here now. That does not feel good. That card's hurt us twice today already. We ended up winning last time. It might be a little harder to win this time. That helps, though. The 2 bodies can block. I can keep attacking in the air. Yeah, so I think we go with Scrapwork Cohort. I can finally kill Ashnod's Harvester with a block. Depending on what happens here, we could just find lethal with Key to the City Obviously, the Tactician's a pretty good play, too. I wonder if they have Giant Growth. If they have Giant Growth, I kind of have to block with everything. I don't really want to. However... Giant Growth. Do I want to block with the token? If I do, I'm not blocking this because I don't really need them to have more counters. I mean, I can bring back the cohort this turn. So it's probably worth blocking. Does look like it sticks, which is nice. If I draw a land, and they don't play a flyer or kill my commando, I could just do lethal with the cohort here. Ah, darn it. Well, they didn't play a flyer, so I could still. Give me a land. Come on, land. We did it. So, yeah, we go... Unless they have Disfigure. Let's hope they don't. So let's play Scrapwork Cohort here. Let's play Key to the City. Looks like we got there. It was nice that we drew that land, not gonna lie. I don't know if we could have gotten there otherwise. I guess some cheap spell would have done it too, because we had enough prowess, but... Alright, pretty good hand. Lots of flash, anyway. We will pass. Okay. Let's flash in our paratrooper. Ooh, there's another, even more flash. My flash deck. Unfortunately, this cannot copy Liberator. I mean, it can, but the legend rule happens, so... So yeah, we end our turn again. There's an airlift chaplain. We might just make it a 2-2 with what they hit. And a 2-2 blocks pretty well here. Because they can play that from the graveyard and that's their only option, yeah. Alright, so let's play Liberator here. So. I do have instant speed options here, but I kind of feel like just playing Wing Commando is going to be better than any of this. I guess I could try to lure them into blocking. There's like no way they do. There's no way our opponent blocks Liberator. They know my stuff has flash, so yeah, we'll just play Wing Commando and then attack them. That's annoying. Good old Loran. Alright, so they destroy Liberator. Liberator did its thing, though. Okay. It's not actually tapped yet, so... I'm kind of okay with that. And I can also bounce it to my hand with Zephyr Sentinel, so... Unfortunately, I think we just pass here, which isn't exactly what we want to be doing with this deck, but we can play Zephyr Sentinel at the end of their turn and bounce this back to our hand. So I think I definitely block that with my paratrooper if it attacks. Okay, it doesn't, so it doesn't matter. If it did, I would, because then if they used a trick or something, I could just bounce it, so. It'd be cool if they attacked with their chaplain here. They attack with both. Well, again, I think... I probably block, and if they use a trick, I bounce the paratrooper to my hand, and if there's not a trick, I bounce that into my hand at the end of the turn. Yeah. There is a trick. Do I care enough about said trick? Is it just going to be better for me to return Wing Commando and let the paratrooper die? Probably. We have another paratrooper in our hand after all. Yeah, we'll just let it die. Alright, we are up to 4 mana now. I think locking down their flyer here with subjugation is probably going to be worth it. So, yeah, we'll go subjugation. Wing Commando. Probably going to have us both draw here. So, theoretically, we can maintain aerial dominance with the help of involuntary cooldown here. We'd rather they play creatures than basically anything else, and they do. A big ol' creature, which is great for our tempo. I can also copy it. I don't think I do yet, though. I could. You know, maybe I do copy it. Is that greedy? Because I could copy it with Sculpting Steel, then next turn play cooldown, and pretty much kill them. And if I play Sculpting Steel, I can also leave up Paratrooper. Yeah, alright, I'm down. So let's play Sculpting Steel here. Copy their Avenger. Attack them down to 8. Have a Paratrooper if there's an emergency where I feel like I've got to block. I don't really foresee such an emergency. Yeah, I mean, that's that happens. I guess I'm only going to be able to swing for like 7 this next turn. Now, which is... Oh wait, I can just use Paratrooper's ability. If they don't have a flyer, the Avenger can gain flying, so that's a problem. Ooh, they just got Deadly Riposte back too. This all just went really sideways for us. That Deadly Riposte is a problem. Yeah. Well, this turn did not go our way, did it? So they attack us for 8 now. And yeah, I mean, I guess they're a little afraid to attack for the full 8. I'll take it. Tapping both of these, okay, now they do it. Tapping both of these down with cooldown is still going to be pretty good. I mean, they get in a big hit here, but I need to hold on to my paratrooper, unfortunately. Killing a creature and gaining life, man, it's not fair. Alright, there's a cohort. But we kind of have to cast cooldown if we're going to have any hope here. So that's what we're going to do. Maybe they'll let us draw in response. Wouldn't hate drawing like a 2-drop here if they do decide to go the draw route. Oh, man. Alright, yeah, they've gotten us every step of the way. Okay. Well, I think we still attack for 4. And, hope they can't kill us. That Deadly Riposte is really what the game changer was. Have a lot of mana. I'm guessing they're going to give that thing Vigilance and hit us for 4 here, so they can keep it back. Yeah. Well, I think we have to play the cohort and pass. Unfortunately. Yep, that'll do it. That's what they wanted all that mana for. Yeah. They really just kept, you know, stopping stopping game-winning plays, basically. And we couldn't do anything about it. That's the downside of the cooldown, because, like, you know, if it works, it feels great, but if you can't win the game before the thing's untap, or they, like, make it so their creature doesn't get tapped, it's a heck of a lot worse. So, and that's what we saw there. Alright, pretty good hand. Play a couple of soldiers and a soldier lord. Seems pretty good. Too bad I didn't have Sculpting Steel to copy their portal, huh? That would have been funny. Trying to decide if I want to play Air Marshal more here. Probably not. Alright, we will play Paratrooper. I don't really think I want to copy Thran Power Suit. I think we just play Wing Commando, then play our Lord next turn, and go to town, hopefully. Looks promising. Next turn I can play Air Marshal and give this flying. There may be an epic confrontation here, which would be sad, though. Hopefully they just, like, equip Thran Power Suit and pass or something. It seems unlikely to me, but interesting. Okay, well, let's give this a try, anyway. They could have reach. It seems like there's always a trick that gives reach in every format. They're usually not great. Oh, no, there is a good one in this format. I mean, I think we still attack. We have to take the... Yeah, there is a good one in this format. We still take the risk, though. I mean, I think we come out ahead here. It's not going to have reach forever, so... We still, have the advantage. Yeah, they're going wide, and they get 2 triggers off of Steel Seeker, which is sweet for them. We're obviously going to copy their cohort here. Sculpting Steel. Yeah, definitely. So let's do that. Then you're going to give yourself flying. Attack for 6. They're going to need something pretty impressive here to not be dead. Yeah. That's more like it. That opponent didn't interfere with anything we did, and it's usually going to go pretty well when you curve out and your opponent can't stop your things. Okay, his hand is a keeper. Okay, looks like we're up against the Sacrifice deck, which is pretty darn strong. Especially if I don't get going here. Yeah, that's not good. I'm gonna need a 3rd land pretty badly. So, trying to decide if I want to flash in Zephyr Sentinel to kill that Blast Runner. I think we probably just take 3. Right, well, we're in trouble. Especially if we don't draw a 3rd land. We do draw a 3rd land. Gives us some hope. Do I want to play Airlift Chaplain or Wing Commando? If I play the Chaplain, I have a pretty good chance at hitting the 4th land I need for the Tactician. The Commando is a better blocker right now, though, is the flip side of that. And I think that probably matters. Yeah, we're the ones on the back foot in this game, so... Yeah, we'll take 2. Well, I'm glad they're not having a better start, because it could be way worse. There's something good for us to copy. How many times are we going to copy Scrapwork Cohort, do you think? But yeah, that's what we're going to do here. It's our best play. I mean, I could hold on to it for later, but getting the Cohort here is quite good. And I can even attack with Wing Commando. Like something's about to die. Yep. Ow. Yeah, that's quite the attack. Do I just want to trade off here as best I can? The problem with killing this is if I kill this, they can get it back, even if they never buff it again. So I think I probably just take the rest. Unfortunately. Disenchant's not great here. Alright, so let's play the Chaplain. So we hit Liberator and a Plains. Kind of feel like I need the Plains more than I need Liberator. I guess Liberator's pretty darn good here. The problem we're about to have is they're going to bring one of these back from the graveyard this turn, so it may not matter anyway. Getting the Plains now. I think we get the Plains. And hope. Oh, they actually can't bring this back. So that's good. Makes things a little less problematic. Of course, if they just kill Wing Commando, that's pretty bad for us. Yep. Not so good. Well... do I just take 5? Might be what we're supposed to do here. The problem to worry about, though, is the Mishra's Juggernaut in terms of finishing us off. So I kind of have to block something here. Maybe it's just Scrapwork Mutt. I do have Disenchant, so I could kill it when they bring it back, which makes me feel a little bit better. Do I just take 5? No, I mean, I can't. I just hate having to block this when they have Gurgling Anointer in play, but for now, I think it's what we do. Go down to 3. Ooh. That's a pretty good draw. So I can play Subjugation on the Anointer. Leave up mana for Disenchant. Block the Mutt and hope I survive that way. I think that's better than playing Power Stone Engineer and leaving up Disenchant, though I could be wrong. Yeah. The bad news is they might have a way to sacrifice it, and they're probably splashing the Spider. Yeah, and then we end our turn. I mean, we're just trying to survive here. I don't like our chances, but I think it is what we need to be doing. I'll have to block this and disenchant the Juggernaut, yeah. See what happens here. So, block this. Disenchant the Juggernaut. Go to 2. That's pretty good. It should keep us alive another turn, if nothing else. Fighting for our life here. I kind of hope they decide to take the turn off or something. I don't know why they would, though. I mean, ooh. Now we're dead. They can just bring them both back. Well, actually, I can block both of them. So we're not quite dead. Just mostly. So, bring back the cohort. I don't love their mana. Like, I don't know. They might, maybe they have like 3 Evolving Wilds. Okay, now we're dead. They got us. Yeah, we were just way behind basically that entire game, and we sort of managed to slow them down at the end, but it's not exactly like our deck was the kind of deck that's like gonna stabilize and beat you in the long game, since we're also an aggro deck, so... Alright, looks pretty solid. So, because we have Disenchant, I think we definitely want to leave our mana up, because they may play something we want to hit with it, and if they don't, we just flash in the Paratrooper. So, kind of a win-win, whatever it is that happens here. Alright, let's see if they counter this. They might. They don't. So I think we try to cast Wing Commando here. I think there's a decent chance they're countering it. Oh, or they're just drawing cards and making a Power Stone. I'll take it. They have 5 mana, if they have an artifact anyway. Will we be disenchanting that or copying it? I think we probably copy it. It'll make this big enough to attack. Yeah, copying it seems pretty good. They could have the trick that gives +1/+0 in first strike, I guess. What do you do, blow up your own Spotter Thopter in response? Then I would make a Power Stone, I guess. Okay, we don't really need another Plains. I'll take a Zephyr Sentinel, though. Do they have the +1/+0 first strike trick? Let's find out. Doesn't look like it. This next turn, we might be disenchanting the Thopter. Or whatever it is they're playing now, I guess. Alright. I have been subjugated. We will take 4. I could disenchant one of these at some point, of course. Or return them to my hand using... Turning to hand with Zephyr Sentinel is also quite good, yeah. So... I think we attack for a big 1 damage here and then just pass, leaving up Disenchant and Zephyr Sentinel. I think they're going to Surveil. That's a good sign, I think. To have to use... They're that worried. I mean, I'm a little surprised to see them do it, given the situation, because it's not like they're way behind on board. Or, well, I guess maybe that's why they want to do it. Because they're not way behind on board. So the question is here, do I want to use my Zephyr Sentinel to trade with that Thopter and bounce Wing Commando back to my hand? The reason I don't love that is because I could just disenchant the Thopter. I think I'm just going to take 4 here. You know what? I'm going to disenchant the Thopter. Do they save it? They do. We've seen that card today, huh? Alright, so we are going to take 4 now. Okay. You know, I could bounce it, but Wing Commando is just better, so... There's Key to the City. It's not that useful right now. Guess I'm just going to play Wing Commando and pass. Let's play the Cohort. Kind of have to trade for a Spotter Thopter here. At least try. Hopefully they didn't draw another trick. Looks promising. Yep, that's a lot less scary. Ooh, that's nice. Okay. So, am I willing to attack them now? I think I am. I mean, that's a big hit. They are going to be able to surveil at the end of the turn. So obviously they'll be throwing away lands and probably reasonably happy to get anything else. So, interesting. Oh, yeah, they left the hold on their upkeep, but they didn't do it again, which makes sense, because, you know. Yeah, that's big. That is big. Okay. Well, I think we bring back Scrapwork Cohort. Attack with it. Probably go to 9, I would imagine. And we'll also play our Wing Commando. So Key to the City might be key, and us finding a way to win this game in the end. That'll allow me to push through some damage. Hopefully they drew a land after surveilling one into the graveyard. Something looks like it's going to die, though. And if it's the Tactician, we might be in some trouble here. I think we just take 4. What you got? Can we just do lethal here now? Key to the City. 3, 6, 8, 10. Not quite. Air Marshal can come down. Oh, I can buff my whole board. Worth remembering. So, unblockable plus block the whole board. But buff the whole board is pretty good. Let's see. So, let's play the key. Make this unblockable. It's not quite enough, actually. I think I'd probably just attack with the flyer this turn. And then we play Air Marshal. I could play Air Marshal and give something else flying. But... oh yeah, if I buff the whole board, though. I'm leaving that part out. So if we buff the whole board, this hits for 5. I send this in for lethal. Yes, math. Okay. So, let's do that. Make this unblockable. And attack them for 9. I'm sure people were screaming in the YouTube comment section because it took me so long to figure out. I felt like there was lethal somewhere, but it took me a while to find it. Took a little bit. Well, we are at least going to gain 1 pip if we don't make it to Mythic. 4 and 3 means you move up one pip in the ranking. I guess we need to go at least 6 and 3 to get there. And I guess we'd have to win the next 2 and then lose the next one for us to hit Mythic. We haven't really done anything with Mightstone's animation, weirdly. I think we still have 3 in the deck, but it hasn't really... we haven't seen it, and the times we have... I mean, maybe it's just not great in our deck, but I think it's just weird that it hasn't lined up, because we've had plenty of, like, soldier tokens to stick it on. Pretty solid hand overall. I mean, if we can go like turn 2 Air Marshal, turn 3 disenchant something, Scrapwork Cohort into animation, that's a good start, I think. And now it is possible because... alright, so I was going to play the Marshal, but because we drew the Paratrooper and I can leave up disenchant, I think we do. Plus I can play around counter magic a little bit here. Yep, not going to be disenchanting that, or it's Power Stone. Obviously, our opponents are ramp deck, so that does make me sort of feel like I need to speed things up here. Because if they're able to stabilize, we'll be in a bit of trouble. The good news is we can kill the first really scary thing they play. We're going to do the same thing here, where we leave up Disenchant and Paratrooper. Yeah, they are ramping, although they didn't actually hit their land drop on the bright side. If that's a bright side. Alright, so let's attack for 2. And we will play the Cohort. Looks sort of like Mightstone's animation might do something in this game, but we'll have to see. So we will trade for one of these. Try to, anyway. They may use a trick, but I'm not too upset about that if that's what they do here. If they play some big artifact, obviously I'll have to disenchant. They do not. So, yeah, they can't currently bounce our token. I'm trying to decide if I'd rather just use Scrapwork Cohort here and attack with everything but our token, and then play Air Marshal. Seems pretty good, actually. Hold on to the animation for later. Yeah. Good chance to take 5, which I think we're down with. And then we'll play Air Marshal. So they can draw cards with the Third Path Savant now. think we just take 5. I mean, if they're going to keep attacking us, I say let them. Especially if their plan is, like, play a big artifact here. It's not, unfortunately. It's just a large creature. Okay. You will be a soldier that I can give flying to. Big enough to hold back those 2 attackers. You'll also draw me a card. Maybe I hit a land that lets me leave up Zephyr Sentinel and disenchant. That seems pretty good. Yeah. I mean, it's only disenchant, but feels like I get to leave something up. Oh, I can actually give it flying now. Yeah, we're going to do that. And then we can, yeah. So we attack them for 6 this turn. Full control to make sure I get the chance to give it... Oh, I can't give it flying now. Just kidding. I need 1 more mana. Yeah, all right. So back to just attacking with those 2. I could play the key, I guess. Maybe I should have played the key and attacked for 4. Yeah, that's what I should have done. Whoopsie. That is what I should have done. Because then I would have them at a much lower life total here. I think we're about to get epic confrontationed. I really wish they would just play a big artifact. Like, if they do that, it would win us the game, more or less. Okay, well, it's not exactly what I thought it would be, but it's not good. Alright, so I think we're going to take 5. Block this. Only got 1 card left in their hand on the bright side. Trample. Yeah, that'll kill us. Disenchant does not help us here, yeah. Well, my deck went 4 and 3. I think it underperformed a bit, but it wasn't like an amazing soldier deck either, I don't think. Didn't get us to Mythic, but like I said, we move up 1 pip. I'll take it. You know, works for me. All right, so I'll be streaming this weekend, and we'll probably hit Mythic this weekend, so be sure to tune in. I'll be streaming, I don't know the exact times, but something like 8 a.m. to noon Eastern time, both days this weekend. And those videos will go up, you know, some of those drafts will go up on the channel the following week. But yeah, have a good rest of your day, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving if you're celebrating.